Hello, everybody, and welcome to, my first time talking about a graphic novel in a really long time. Damn it, Liz, get your shit together. The last graphic novel that I talked about was The Killing Joke, and you can check that out linked here, who knows? It's linked. Check it out if you haven't already seen it. And in that one, I mentioned that the next series that I was going to be checking out is Ex Machina. So I did. Now, Ex Machina is a series written by Brian K. Vaughan, and the penciler is Tony Harris, and then they vary in who does the inking depending on which issue you're looking at, but primarily it was Tom Feister in the ones that I was reading, and then the colorist is J.D. Metler. So that's the core creative team here. And I read the first 10 issues of the series, but from what I understand, there are 50. The story of Ex Machina, in a nutshell, to the best of my abilities, it tells the story of a man named Mitchell Hundred, who through, your classic accident, gets the ability to communicate with and control machines. And so he becomes a superhero known as the Great Machine, but he kind of fails in that. And based off of his actions during 9/11, this kind of takes place in an alternate timeline to what actually happened. Based off of his actions there, he decides to run for mayor and leave his superhero persona behind because he thinks that he'll be able to cause more positive change from a political office. So that was a really interesting twist to the superhero story that I didn't really know anything about the series before I picked it up. John gave it to me. It was in the box of graphic novels that he lent me. But I appreciated that element of it, the idea of somebody who has the who has the superhero abilities, but chooses to leave that behind, or at least attempts to leave that behind, and they believe that they can make more of a difference through political office. So, that is the plot explained to the best of my abilities. Now, what did I think of the series? Initially, I really enjoyed it. I really did. I thought that the premise was cool and original, and I thought that the characters were relatable, and each of them were quite flawed. They felt very real to me, which I always appreciate in graphic novels, which is why I liked Watchmen so much. The only thing is that as the series went on, I found myself less and less invested in the characters, in the story arcs. It became a little monster of the week for me. Every issue tended to have a different adversary, and some of them were way more compelling than others. And while the first, I would say 5 or 6 issues I binge read, I just jumped on in and I read through each of them fast and grabbed the next one, and I was going. The farther I got, the longer it took me to finish each issue, and I actually didn't finish issue 10, which is the last one that I have, until I think about a month ago, and I had maybe 5 pages left, and it was just sitting on my coffee table, and I hadn't finished it. So I asked myself, why did I lose interest? And I think it's kind of for the reasons I said. Like, I stopped caring about the villains, therefore it was harder for me to care about the series as a whole. I think having an interesting villain is a very important thing, and there wasn't really one main villain. The one that they tried to make the big bad just didn't do it for me. I also wasn't crazy about the female characters. I had a character that I really, really liked and that I related to, and she just didn't play that big of a part in the story. I was hoping that she would have more to do, and then she didn't. So the lead characters of the series are men, and it, well, like, all right, okay. I didn't feel that connection. And also, and this might seem like a small thing, but it did bother me, Mitchell Hundred as a mayor, I didn't agree with a lot of his policies. And for a series that really delves into the political side, it was a difficult thing for me to get past anyway, whenever he's talking about enacting these passing these laws, passing these bills. If it's something that I don't personally agree with, then I have a harder time rooting for him as the protagonist if I'm against his politics. I know that maybe that's strange, and I'm sure plenty of people will be able to get past that and very much enjoy the series, but for me, not so much. But did I enjoy the series as a whole in general? Yes. If you are especially interested in a little twist on the classic hero story, if you're interested in seeing someone who tried and failed to be a conventional superhero and instead went the political route, absolutely, I would recommend this. If it had been up to me, if I hadn't had up to issue 10 in my possession, I probably would have stopped around issue 6. And I would have been happy. Would have been like, yeah, this was a really cool taste of a cool series, but I'm good. So that's Ex Machina, my impressions. And now, time for a few little announcements. So the first thing is that the next series that I'm going to be checking out is Saga, also written by Brian K. Vaughan. As a side note, I really like Brian K. Vaughan as a writer for graphic novels. I think he's very talented, so I'm excited to check out another one of his works. So, going to be checking out Saga, written by Brian K. Vaughan. Artist is Fiona Staples. It was created by the two of them. So we'll be checking out Saga next. But there's one more thing that I want to do. One more announcement. So I might be reading Saga on my own, but you guys have been so awesome with giving me recommendations for new graphic novels to check out that I thought it might be really fun if we read one together. So here's what I'm thinking. I found a standalone graphic novel that I would really enjoy reading at the same time as you guys or any among you who want to participate. Batman Year One. Have you checked it out? Are you interested in checking it out? This is a single issue. This is a standalone graphic novel. As you can see, it's not that big. It's a Frank Miller. And I've been wanting to read it for a bit, and I was like, hey, why don't we just put it out there that if people want to join, they can. And then here's what I'm proposing. We all read it on our own time. We avoid posting spoilers on Twitter. And then we meet up Sunday, February 26th, 2017, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my channel, twitch.tv/Liz_Lemon17. And then we just chat about it. It'll be like a punchy book club. And this is going to be a trial run. And if we like it, maybe we'll do more. So let me know in the comments below or on Twitter if this is something that would interest you. I'm going to read this no matter what. But if somebody wants to join me for the ride, have at it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ex Machina, done. Next up, Saga. And a team read that I'm proposing, Batman Year One. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.